Hi, I'm Angie and welcome to part 10 of my What are Nips and What Can I Make with Them series. I want to show you a vegan cheesecake recipe today, but more to that later. This is part 10, which means this is the last video of the whole series. When I started making these videos, my intention was to bring cacao nibs a little bit closer to you. I wanted you to understand what cacao nibs are, and I also wanted to show you a way how you can use them. I also want to share with you why I love cacao nibs so much. Let's take a look at chocolate. On some days I like chocolate more sweeter, on other days I like it more bold or bitter or more fruity, more nutty, whatever. But it's always candy. Cacao nibs opens up a whole new world. You can add cacao nibs into savory dishes, into sweet dishes. You can make muffins, smoothies, chili. You can use them in salads as a topping. There are just so many different ways to use cacao nibs. Or think about a Mexican spice mole. There's also cacao in it. You can be so creative with cacao nibs, and that's a huge reason why I like them so much. But there's another point as well. I'm a chocolate maker. So when I make chocolate, I start with the raw bean, right? I roast them and then I get cacao nibs. So when I'm tasting the cacao nib, that's my first impression how my chocolate later on will taste. Let's look at an example. I try a freshly roasted cacao nib and it tastes like rose, hazelnut and plum. I will watch out for these three flavors moving forward. Another example. If I taste more brighter flavors, like for example a lemon or an orange, then I will adjust the different steps moving forward. So that's why cacao nibs are so important to me, because that's the first step, the first impression I get how my chocolate will taste later. What I would love you to do is go to the next Whole Foods, go to the co-op around your corner and just grab a bag of nibs. Be creative, make something fun. Take a picture and share it with me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at chocolatespeel, and I would love to see your pictures. I'm excited what you're coming up with. Now let's go over to the recipe, the vegan cheesecake.
We start with 120 grams of raw cashews, put them into a bowl and cover them with boiled water and let them rest for an hour. And do the same thing with 120 grams of cacao nibs. Let them also soak for 1 hour and drain them well afterwards. Now we go over to make the crust of our cheesecake. Use 70 grams oats, 85 grams almonds, 2 tablespoons of sugar and a little bit of salt, and mix it very well. As soon as you have a fine meal, just add it into a bowl and add 4 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. Mix everything very well. Transfer it to a baking dish. Press down the crust firmly. And bake it for 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. After the 15 minutes, increase the temperature to 190 degrees Celsius and bake for another 5 to 10 minutes until the crust is golden brown. Let's go back to our cashews and cacao nibs. After an hour, we can prepare the filling while our crust is baking. So add the cashews and the nibs after draining into your blender. Add 240 grams of coconut cream, 230 grams of cream cheese, so I used vegan cream cheese, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, use 150 grams of a syrup, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a little bit of salt. Blend this very well until your filling is very smooth. As soon as your crust is done baking, you can transfer the filling and pour it over the crust. And bake it for 50 minutes to an hour at 160 degrees Celsius. And let it set in the refrigerator for 5 to 6 hours. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Hit the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram.